Aquarius rising. How you doing, Aquarius? This is your reading for your new moon of the year. My name's Chloe. I work with card divination, astrology, and I channel multi-dimensional energies through my body. You just heard some vocal light language. You're seeing some physical light language. All of this is going to happen throughout the reading, and it brings in healing, attunement, and activation codes to the messages that want to come through in this reading for you, my loves. This new moon in Aquarius is happening on the 29th of January. That's tomorrow. I apologize for the delay in getting this transit out. The North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo transit series took up a lot of time. It's a very significant transit. Is literally going to change our reality. And this is the first new moon since the nodes changed signs. So it's a big fresh energy. It's also the first new moon with Pluto firmly staying in Aquarius, right? And this moon happens to be conjunct Pluto and Mercury. Mercury's just moved into Aquarius, so we're getting those downloads. But as I said, I apologize for the delay. What comes through in this is serving you for the next 6 months. So you're not missing out on any of the messages by watching this after the event. I've done a 2-part series on this new moon. The first part just went on for a little while longer because I was talking about the Cross-Quarter Fire Festival of Imbolc. We've got 4 a year, and they are the midpoints between the solstices and equinoxes. So this is tying us into the bigger Earth cycles. We always want to do that because then we're connecting to this incarnation. We're not denying it, and we're in the rhythms of the Earth. We're in the rhythms of that which has given birth to us. It's also Chinese New Year. It's the new lunar year, whereas the sun new year for me is the winter solstice that happens in Capricorn season. So now we've got the new lunar year. I break down all of that, as well as the year of the wood snake as well, the meanings behind that, and the numerology of this being a year 9. Now all of this is intertwined into this new moon in Aquarius. Part 2, I break down the astrology of the exact moment of the new moon, of how everything is talking to each other, right? There's not a crazy amount of astrology going on, so the message was pretty clear, even though they did use half the deck. Diana, again, lots of channeled messages came through in there. I also talked about certain philosophical practices, right? Because Aquarius, it is the collective air sign. It is the universal truths, right? High vibrational frequency, that kind of objective, egalitarian understanding of existence. So I'm going to be quite quick in these readings. I'm going to talk about the houses that this moon is showing up in, and also where Jupiter is, because that's one of the major aspects that is happening with this moon, and Jupiter's in the sign of Gemini. And we're going to be focusing on the core transmission that came through in the collective reading, which is this is bringing through a perspective that is linked into your universal truth. So we're going to be focusing on what that is and how to work with it. And this is part of the upgrade that we are then applying to what's come through with the Pisces Virgo nodal shift, right? Of the magical reality, of letting go of the finite, materialistic, rational mindset of how our reality has the capacity to unfold, right? Thinking about the past, what we've observed, and then applying it to the future. No, we're letting go of that. We're letting go of control and fear and leaning into that non-linear, synchronistic miracle vibes of Pisces, that the source genuinely has your back. You got to dissolve your fears, give them up, go about your life, and you will see the support coming. So this universal truth that we're going to bring in is helping you get in alignment with the unfolding of the nodes, right? There's big astrology this year. I cannot stress enough, the work that you do this year, 1, it's a year 9, but 2, the astrology of the next 2 years is wild. It is a radical change of our conscious awareness, right? And we need to do the inner work in order to clear our channel and have the ability to bring this into manifestation. And the work that you do this year will have a big payoff. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to go into that rabbit hole, I don't want to peel back the layers, I just want to stress, it will be worth it. Even though you're like, oh, I've been through so much, I've done so much already. I'm telling you, I'm telling this to myself, right? I'm going to be really hardcore with myself this year, right? Of really getting back to my soul's frequency and what that reality feels like, not what the outside reality feels like, and really cultivate that frequency. We create our own reality. I never really say that, right? And I felt very called with the nodal transit and this transit to bring this energy in of an acceptance of that, right? And not feeling that, oh, well, how can this happen and how can do that? I'm acting like this way. I don't bring this in. Well, there's going to be some stuff, right? And so this is a really great time to get your observer, high eagle mind on board, because that's the Aquarius vibe, right? The zoomed out vision, that is genuinely going to help you create your new paradigm. Right, I read for the rising signs. So for those of you who don't have Aquarius in the first house, look to where it falls in your natal chart. Look to what house it's in, look to the themes of that house, and you want to apply those themes along with all the other meaning you've got going on in the sign of Aquarius to the messages that want to come through. For example, I've got Aquarius over in the 7th. My moon is there. My Jupiter is there. This new moon happens to be happening on my Jupiter. So I'd apply all the meanings of the 7th and the meanings of the moon and Jupiter to what comes through in this reading. Because it's as if that Aquarius energy, wherever it falls in your natal chart, has now energetically moved to the first house. So you just got to apply your own natal chart meaning on top of it. So as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Now, Aquarius rising, where is this happening for you, right? And you want to apply that collective reading. I can't recommend it enough. Pause this video, go watch it, come back. Oh, you want to apply that to what comes through here, as well as just generally to your life. It doesn't have to be, you're going to have an amplification in the houses that I'm talking about, but everything in the collective readings you can always apply to every area of your chart. So the first house, the house of self, right? How you embody your sun or your moon in your actions and your deeds. All depends if you've got a day or a night chart, which luminary is providing wisdom to your ascendant. Itala, dishanimo doela diatuma dianima, ishanimo doela. And so this is how you move. Your ascendant is your navigator, right? So the sun or the moon is the kind of like the captain of the ship, providing wisdom of where you're headed, but that navigator has its own way of getting there, and that's your Aquarius energy, right? It's your body, your character, your sense of self, and often how other people see you. So it's a new moon, new energy coming in, fresh new energy, right? This elevation of what you've been and where you're at and how you're moving forward. This moon is conjunct Pluto and Mercury. Oh, hi, okay. And so this is, as I said, that's the download Mercury's getting from Pluto to connect you to your root id power, the universal truth of your root id power. Pluto's all about control because, well, no, Pluto's about neutrality, but Pluto highlights control or the lack thereof or distorted power dynamics because it wants you to get into a neutral state. The cycles of life, death and rebirth are always happening. We can struggle with that, right? And so we want to control, we want to possess. There's an element of possession, obsession with Pluto, right? And so this Mercury energy is really helping, and Pluto's main agenda is to get you to be neutral. Are you gonna come and say hello, little one? Oh, hi. Dia, this is Lily. If regulars, you've been keeping up with the cat energy, adopted this lovely being as well as her sister in the summer of last year, and this one escaped out of the house 3 days after we got her. So having spent 6 months in a cage, she escaped into the world, and she was away for 5 weeks. Left on a Tuesday and came back on a Tuesday. She had her own little adventure and came to understand herself a little bit better, and she's an absolute cutie. And okay, it's sort of reminding me of the journey that these two cats have had, right? They've been working gradually through their trauma. And I've been putting into practice this real sense of trusting in them, right? Not trying to control the journey that they're on, and really giving them the space to sort of take their time with their experiences. And now they're really open to love. They're really open to play and joy. Dialamo doenima. And this one does love her cuddles. Ishinima doenima dianima. And they're really stepping into their universal truth. But it's acknowledging that we've all been through various traumas and situations that trigger us. Sorry if you really are just getting the back of her ass. But that it takes time to get back to our frequency. It takes time to get back to our truth. And I love that she's come in, because she's been a bit wary sometimes of when I'm recording and not coming into this space very often, because I think the frequency was so high in here, because she was working through some dysregulated energy within herself. She was finding it a bit much being in this room, and now she doesn't. Now she's got in line with the truth of who she is, and she's coming to show you that it's possible, right? Might have to take you off the table. Right, you've done your bit, little one. Boop, boop. Love you. Dishanima, inima. Duela dianimo toela. Right, we were talking about you, Aquarius. I mean, that was relevant. I find that often everything that goes on in a reading is very much in alignment. Ituela dianimo toela. Dishinimo tufinima. Ina dianimo yanama dishanama. So, first house. Energy, Pluto, Mercury, the download. That, as I said, stay in a state of neutrality with what's going on with Pluto. It's going to be in your sign for quite some time. So there is a real sense of what's coming through here is going to help you work through all of that as well. It's not that the challenges aren't going to go away, but it's our capacity to work with them that are going to be magnified. And so, as I said, Mercury is bringing in this download, this universal truth frequency. And this is what we're tapping into, that's allowing you to step into your power without needing to take it from other people, without it being diminished. And this is in your house of self. So it is a new adventure of how you navigate the world, all right, from everything that you've already learned. Now this moon is trining Jupiter. Jupiter is still retrograde at the time of this new moon. It will be going direct on the 4th of February. Jupiter retrograde is often the inner questioning, not taking, you're not having, like, if somebody tells you something and you just completely believe it without even questioning it, that's not the vibe. And so we're really allowing a deepening of questioning the unfolding, of the dissolving, and we're bringing in this high frequency of your universal truth, and Jupiter is allowing you to then question what isn't that, right, and come to a deeper resonance and a deeper faith within yourself. A trine is an aspect of Jupiter, so it's bringing together in order to elevate, expand, bring wisdom, bring a sense of faith, and with that brings confidence and a deeper knowing within yourself that allows more joy, more joviality of spirit, more abundance, and more sense of opportunities. And this is in your 5th house of your creation energy, right? This is your house of joy, amusement, play, games, pleasure, children, both literal and figurative children, such as your inner child and creative things you birth into the world. Iana Moyana, it's about romance, dating, and love. But essentially, it's your creation energy, right? So Jupiter is helping you reassess all of that and get closer to your universal truth of your creation energy by going in its retrograde phase, and really allowing you to figure out, okay, what do all these things mean to me? We can have a lot of addiction in the 5th house. We can prioritize things that we think bring us joy, think bring us pleasure, but they're kind of like sucking our lifeblood. I like that one. And this transit is bringing in a deeper wisdom for you to navigate away from those things. Also feel a great inner power of your capacity to manifest more joy and pleasure in your life. It's not necessarily that things are showing up externally, but because of this upgrade, you have a deeper wisdom within you that knows how to harness that Kundalini energy. So those are the main houses. Saturn rules Aquarius, traditionally, which is what I work with. And Saturn is in Pisces, which is your second house of your skills and your tools, how you manifest, how you bring in regular income, the things that you value and how you value yourself. So Saturn is ruling this moon, so is influencing it with the themes of that house. But Jupiter rules Pisces. So we've got a feedback loop between Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury, because Jupiter is in Mercury's sign. So this is an elevation of our perspective, how we engage with information, how we process it, how we understand our reality from a higher perspective. There's bringing in a level of maturity and commitment to our legacy. Those are the themes of the three planets all working together. Right, so I wanted to pull some oracle cards first, because this is going to give us the understanding of what is that universal truth download that's coming through. So we're using a sacred geometry deck because for me, Aquarius is very much about sacred geometry. It's about high vibrational frequencies. I link it into the Galactic Council. Oh, no, I didn't want to show you that one. So first, we've got Gaia. So the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and the universe that birthed us all. Gaia is the word used to refer to the earth as a living organism. As such, she radiates a deep sense of nurturing, care, compassion, and wisdom, taking care of her loved ones and her community. She shares with us through her natural resources of food, light, and water. This sense of community, both small and large, it's interesting because you're a collective sign, Aquarius, is represented by the repeating patterns that spread out from the core of this activation. Gaia is represented in both her water and her solid bodies by the blue and greens, as above, so below. This applies to the external world, the sky, the water, and the earth, as well as to the internal world of spirit and body. The pearl-like shapes symbolize both the deep secrets hidden beyond the physical world and beyond our off-planet origins. These pearls might even be making a sound, like a soft humming or toning. If we look long enough, we might hear it too. Through this understanding of Gaia and connection, we're invited to be conscious of how we walk this earth. Very appropriate for the embodiment of self and the navigate of how do you walk through this world, how do you navigate through this world, to realize that we leave a footprint everywhere we go. We are also invited to find compassion for all beings that are with us on this walk and beyond. Our conscious connectedness creates balance and harmony. Throughout our reality, we can move us forward into an expanded reality. Our conscious connectedness creates balance and harmony throughout our reality and can move us forward into an expanded reality as well, right? So through this understanding of one, your incarnation on this planet, two, the connectivity of everything. This is bringing a deeper balance and harmony rather than conflict and resistance that is allowing you to expand your reality. Now, next up, we have Melchizedek. Higher learning. I do feel this is a very Aquarius card, right? Because it's about the universal core principles, right, of the perspectives of the universe. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required for further progress. She's now playing under the bed. So that sense of peace that allows us to play, even though it's saying you need to do more learning, more study, seeing that as a very playful thing, right? There's training right now. Remember, it's a new moon. Rather than something that's heavy and, I've got to do more learning. It's like, exciting. That's what we want to bring in. We want to bring in the excitement. Melchizedek is a high priest who is mentioned in the Bible's book of Genesis and many other sources too. He is here to assist the earth through the ascension process, which is basically moving everyone and everything back to a state of love and harmony. He appears with bright light around him and a long white beard to match his ancient high priest ways, and is said to have his own order of light-filled priests who are able to help spiritual people develop their gifts and qualities. As he works on a high energetic level, we can connect with him through sacred geometry and by focusing on ancient star-shaped symbols. You have learned so much to this point and are learning more every day. You are recognizing all the great lessons your experiences and challenges have brought to you, and are preparing for a transition or inner ascension where you will move beyond another level of fear and into the inner sanctum of your heart and soul. Become aware of patterns, ancient symbols and signs being sent to you from the universe. There is a sense that you are now able to focus in a new way and offer greater light to the world. Melchizedek and his order are with you now, leading you towards spiritual wisdom. Meditate and connect with their light. Ooh! Disha ni moyana. Disha ni modoela. Right, tarot. Challenge. How to work with the upgrade. So the challenge is the Ace of Pentacles. Do you believe in a magical reality here on the 3D world? Do you believe in New Earth? Do you believe in heaven on hell? I say these words because they represent the deeper meaning of why we're here. We're not here to disappear. We're not here to go into a different dimension. We signed up for this one, right? We are here to bring this higher frequency of love, of abundance, of magic, right? Which is just science we haven't figured out yet, into the 3D world and create into the 3D world. So this is the challenge, is to accept the new perspective, right? Accept the difficulty of being able to see it in the real world, and realize your part to play, to take action, to bring it into being. Itala diala modoela, dishana modoela dianima do fala dianima. Because it might just be that this frequency is, I don't want to say alien to you, because it's always within you. It's this, that there's something like Pluto, right, of the death grip over the old ideology, and the how we step into it and try and break that down and allow the newness to come in, right? This may be a struggle to put this into action, this frequency. It may feel like a lot. I'm just going to cut the deck to see what support it wants to say. Okay, so mastery of self and collaboration, right? You've got to trust whatever weirdness is going on in your life that you may feel isn't conforming to other people's reality. You've got to walk that talk, right? You've got to step up and show up every day to embody that and put it into practice. And this is about creating something beautiful and long lasting. It may be that there's a resistance to connecting to other people who are going through similar things. There's a resistance of you being your authentic self around other people. It's like there's a part of you that has been wanting to come out, and there's been a block, right? There's this, because this is fresh energy and it's wanting you to engage in it. And that's why it's a challenge, because there's resistance here. There's a resistance to perhaps living the dream. You might have gone through some difficulties and there's a heaviness, there's a stuckness. But this new moon is saying, no. There's a frequency around you that if you just do tiny little things, start small, of putting it into practice without any expectations or assumptions about how any of this is going to turn out, right? This is also relating back to the connectivity of everything around you, right? Aquarius can be very detached. It can be very solo figure, right? Whether this is you communicating or interacting with people, or your guides more, or source more. Source wants to come in and help you out, help you walk your path, help you feel that this is real and this is solid rather than just this pipe dream in the back of your head. Be brave, Aquarius, be brave. How to work with this energy. I've got the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands, and then the Eight of Wands. These two showed up in the collective reading. So This is the acknowledgement that the download that's coming through, you're going to need to give it a little bit of time to figure it out, to observe it, right? To not rush into things, to not burn yourself out. You know, as I said, little steps with this one, little steps with this, right? Two of Swords. This is the moon in Libra. This is which is your ninth house of perspectives. This figure has left their homeland. They've traveled across the ocean, right? They are now at the new realm that they're going to be embodying and setting up camp in. And they're having to go inward. They're choosing to go inward because they've realized they're not the same person anymore. But they want to think about, well, who were they before? What did that energy from the homeland represent? What do they want to take with them into the new realm? And what have they learned on their journey, and who are they now? So this is like this resistance to change, this resistance to a new way of being, because you're kind of it's your fixed energy, right? Fixed energy can be very stubborn. I say that as someone, most of my chart is fixed, of letting go of the defense mechanisms and the walls over change, right? That change is just you in its many forms. Remember, Jupiter is in Gemini, it's mutable. So this is it's giving a lot of support to that fixed energy of this awareness of, okay, what would I want to embody? What do I want to strive for in this new space? But it is about going inward. It's very much a meditation card, whatever that looks like for you, of getting rid of the clutter and finding a deeper inner truth within yourself. So it is saying, you are shifting, right? New moon, basically 6-month cycle. Take your time, give yourself the space to notice the shifts and the changes, right? That's the Two of Wands. Getting the lay of the new landscape, not rushing into anything, right? They're in a very strong position, so because they're standing on top of a castle, right? They're surveying the land around them. They're learning, they're growing. They understand that when they do this now, it's going to serve the big launch journey that they're heading off into in the Three of Wands. Itoela dialima. It can be a bit restless, this card, because it wants to go, 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 go. But this is helping you bring this in, right? Perhaps there's a resistance to the connected nature of Gaia, right? Of a resistance of this incarnation, right? You may have gone through a lot of struggles. But these two cards are saying, no, you're in this new landscape, and 2, to observe this landscape and how you are shifting and changing within it. And don't let yourself be restricted by, I've always been this, I'm always going to be that. That's never going to change. The same old stories are always going to repeat. Then we get the Eight of Wands. With this sense of contemplation, with this pause, this awareness, this dissolving, this shifting, this noticing the sensations, noticing your thoughts, noticing your instincts, right? And how they're evolving and growing in alignment, right? Remember the inner work that you're doing. Ituela di anima. You're then, with that calibration, with that resonance of awareness and openness, you're going to find that your instincts are in alignment when you go into that observer mode and release the control of what's happening, and then your instincts are going to guide you, right? Because they're all heading in the same direction. Fire is instinctive in its nature, and so there's a real sense of, through this slower process, the speed is gonna pick up, right? This is one of the fastest moving cards in the deck. It's Mercury in Sagittarius, right? So there's this passion, there's this drive of how you move through the world, how you perceive the world. All your instincts are coming into an alignment with this upgrade, this embodiment of self, with the flow of that creation energy, right? The confidence of your own path. Let's do the final card, the bottom of the deck. Root energy of this intention of this moon. Four of Pentacles, love it. Also showed up in the collective reading. This is about your sovereign energy being protected so you manifest and create your reality. So I always see a force field around this figure. You know, they're in a city, but their frequency, their internal frequency, is not being distorted by the collective. And so they are able to create from their inner security, structure, and safety, they are then building out in the world from a place of sovereignty with the crown. So very powerful stuff. This is at the root of this. So it's going to help you build in the 3D world. You just got to trust that the changes that are coming through are serving you, and be mindful and aware of what's shifting. You've got this connectivity and higher learning, this sort of higher vibe frequency that's helping you embody this in the 3D world, right? Right, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. I'm trying to keep these videos short so I can get as many done today as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it resonated. Tiny bit of housekeeping, forgot to do it at the beginning. One, if you want a Mars retrograde transit, actually this is becoming mute, from the new moon tomorrow in Aquarius to the full moon in Leo, all the readings that I do are all 50% off, right? So if you want to take up that offer, my website is actually, I haven't checked on my website if I can do it 50. I'll just take it anyway. Check the website or email me directly if you want to pay by PayPal. Check out the website for the prices. I've set up a second channel. It's called Quantum Vibe Tarot. It's more direct transmissions, activation codes, shorter videos. I'm on camera. I'm using loads of decks, lots more channeling, right? So it's more activations, timeless activations. I'm going to be doing one for the Virgo South Node and one for the Pisces North Node as well, to help us activate the most integrated, expansive intention of that transit. Right, I'm going to leave it there, my lovely Aquariuses. Be good to yourselves, be good to those around you, safe travels, and be well until we meet again.